So, it's been about a year since my last video on Sonic, but I decided that with the release of Shadow X Sonic Generations, that it's finally time to talk about the Blue Blur again. But what exactly to talk about? Well, because of the hype surrounding the newest Sonic game, I've been playing through some of these games with the Japanese dub. So today I wanted to focus on one performance in particular, Junichi Kanemaru's take on Sonic the Hedgehog. And before I get started, this video isn't bashing on any of the English voice actors. I love each and every voice for Sonic, and I believe that they all deserve to be appreciated for their performances. So take this more as an appreciation as opposed to a comparison. Now, back in the 90s, you would see a lot of commercials for Sonic focusing on bashing Nintendo and having this very edgy attitude to him.
Wow! What's this one?
Oh, this is a Sonic the Hedgehog from Sega Genesis. Hey, look at these radical colors, huh?
Wow, Sonic's fast, too.
No, over here.
I like Genesis, and it costs a lot less.
But kid, that game
I'll
there.
take Sonic and Genesis.
But in places like Japan, they got a very different type of Sonic. Rather than promoting it as an edgier, cooler game than those on Nintendo consoles, they instead marketed them as joining Sonic on his grand adventure.
新しい仲間テイルスを連れて帰ってきた。前作を超えたスケールとアクションで息もつかせぬ面白さ。超ハラハラ超ドキドキの超速アクション。ソニック・ザ・ヘッジホッグ2。Welcome to Sonic Land。メガドライブから世界へ向けて。
This then leads to the Sonic OVA released in 1996, which was the first instance of Sonic being given a voice, with the role being given to Masumi Kichiuchi in Japanese. This showed Sonic as very playful and cocky. He enjoys making a game out of fighting, as we can see in the Metal Overlord fight. I find it interesting how in the US, Sonic is marketed by being this standout character and a bit of a rebel. Yet in the cartoons that they made, he was very safe and educational. But in Japan, the marketing was very safe, but in the cartoons, he was cocky and rebellious. I just thought that was interesting. Anyways, with the OVA aside, it'd be 3 years till we finally received our first game with a talking version of Sonic, which is Sonic Adventure for the Dreamcast. And this is the first time we get to hear Sonic voiced by Jun'ichi Kanemaru.
Great! ご機嫌だね。なんだ
Kanemaru worked part-time doing small dub roles for shows like Yurisei Yatsura, High School Kimengumi, and while Sega was scouting for a new voice for Sonic, a representative heard his voice in a dubbed version of the American sitcom Growing Pains, and this eventually led to him getting the role of Sonic in Sonic Adventure. Junichi helped breathe life into Sonic as a character, and his performance is just stellar.
戦艦が飛ぶまで時間がない。テルス、ナックルズ、急ごう。スライディングでギリギリ抜けられそうだ。
In an episode of the Sonic Ring series, they did an interview with him, and he goes to talk about his views on Sonic. He says that he noticed that Sonic wasn't the perfect hero he thought he was, and noted that Sonic is actually surprisingly flawed. And this is what he believes makes Sonic so appealing, that he's actually surprisingly relatable. His voice gives Sonic this sort of welcoming and energetic characteristic to him, and he even said so himself. Whenever he's feeling down, he can listen to Sonic's voice and it feels like it's giving him energy back. He brings a very cool and free sort of vibe with the way he talks, and you can certainly hear it in his performance. A big thing about Junichi's performance that really gives it that extra flair is his use of English.
Here we go! Alright! Dim! 音速で決めるぜ Ready! There's tight! お話にならないね
Junichi is actually an English language teacher, hence why he uses it for the part of Sonic's character. It really does make his performance charming, and sometimes as an English speaker, it can be kind of funny hearing some of the words he chooses to use. Like when Sonic swears in front of Cream in Sonic X.
返してごめんなさい私が変なこと言ったから
関係ないさ。シッ、行くぞ。
His voice is an amazing fit for Sonic, and you can get sucked into his performance so easily, and it really does feel like he understands Sonic as a character. It's no wonder that since his debut in Sonic Adventure, he's continued to voice Sonic in virtually everything aside from the movies. I think that out of anything, this is a testament to how good his performance is. He's able to grow with the character without it seeming forced. Going from stuff like Adventure to Lost World, he still feels like Sonic no matter what. He also feels like he can switch from Sonic's higher energy voice to a more serious tone without it feeling too jarring. I really love his range with the character. He's really able to encompass everything about Sonic in his performance. And a big thing that I really like about his interpretation of Sonic is that he keeps those imperfections that he was mentioning earlier. In this Frontier scene, just see the difference between how Sonic speaks in English versus Japanese. In English, you can tell that he has a kind of like older brother, wise sage kind of feel to him. But with Japanese Sonic, he's kind of embarrassed to even admit that he finds Tails as an inspiration. And I just think that's really cool.
Hey, who was it who stopped Eggman from blowing up Station Square, huh? And who broke me out of prison, or saved me from the Deadly Six's trap?
Then I'm wildly inconsistent.
Dude, relax! You've got brains like Eggman, speed like me, and can fly with your butt. It's okay if you still need help sometimes. That's just part of growing up.
Huh. When did you get to be so insightful?
I have my moments.
Station Square の爆破を止めたのは誰なんだ？刑務所から俺を救出し、ロッキ州の罠から俺を救ったのは？
違うよ。そうじゃないんだ。
だって本当のことだろ？お前は頭がいいしメカにも強い。おまけにお尻で空を飛ぶことだってできる。俺にできないことができるお前を尊敬してる。恥ずかしいこと言わせんなよ。
そんな僕にしかできないこと？
ああ、もう言わないけどな。
Junichi is also known for being quite a talented singer. He sung a few songs as Sonic, alongside the voice actor Amy. One of the songs they sung was the second ending of Sonic X2, which is really cool. He's also done songs completely in English, and they sound great too. It's really cool to see a voice actor doing stuff like this. I know it's quite common in Japan to have characters sing in little promotional videos and whatnot, but it's always just a fun little blip in their careers. Surprisingly, one of my favorite games with his performance as Sonic is in Sonic Forces. It goes back to the difference in how Japan and America both approach Sonic as a character, but I feel like he's written so much better in the Japanese dub, being less jokey and kinda taking the situation more seriously. And of course, Junichi's performance makes it just that much better too. It really makes these games that I've played hundreds of times into something fresh, and I really do believe it's because of that energetic feeling he gives off. If you're ever going for another playthrough, or rewatching something like Sonic X or Sonic Prime again, definitely give the Japanese dub a try, you won't be disappointed. But that's all for now. Bit of a shorter video this time round, but I hope you enjoyed it regardless. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.